Mm, All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in our beautiful world. And here in North America, tomorrow, May 10th, is Mother's Day. Whether you have a country that celebrates it on another day or you don't, but you like the idea of honoring your mom or even yourself as a mom, then I welcome you. And sometimes dads can act as moms, or they have to act as moms. Uh, Many of us are blessed with moms who we appreciate and we learn from. And many of us, too, on the other side, have moms who challenge us and who may not be the teacher we thought she could be or should be. But we are all teachers. We are all learning from each other and giving ourselves some time to grow through our experiences and learn what types of things we need to set boundaries with. And moms play a lot of different roles. They can be our nurses, our teachers, our like our providers, our spiritual leaders. They can be our obviously caregivers. Moms have a lot of responsibility put on them, and we usually don't know that until we are moms. I definitely did not know the extent of the joys and the struggles before I had Sky. And NICU experience and life aside, being a mom is the hardest job I've ever had. And I think it's going to stay that way. I'm okay with that now. I did have a lot of struggles, and I'm smiling because I'm looking back going, oh my goodness, yes, that was a lot. It was a big challenge. And that's okay because as moms, we are people too. We're individuals, we're these human beings who are trying to learn as our kids grow, right? We are growing while our kids are growing. And if you can grab onto that concept and bring gentleness and awareness to yourself, those struggles that you find as being a mom and having those responsibilities are slowly going to lessen in severity, and they're going to get a little bit easier as time goes by. And like I've said on many of my other videos, practicing these things, practicing the awareness, and also connecting with practice connecting with what you need as an individual is going to help you tenfold get through whatever struggles and whatever growth you're going through right now. Excuse me, I'm just going to take a drink of water. Excuse me. So if at any time you have any comments or questions, just put them in the feed. I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for being here. Um, Mother's Day, I feel, is sort of like Valentine's Day for me. It's one of those days where it's lovely to be honoring, our moms and be honored yourself as a mother. And I also feel like it should be more than once a year almost, or not the extent of it, but the honoring that we give other people on these special days is something we should be, not should, we could practice daily. Giving our moms love is something, that we could do every day. And I know Sky gives me love every day, even through his emotional roller coasters. And so by getting a card on Mother's Day, it's really beautiful and I love it. And moms do so much every day, or dads who are acting as moms, that, giving that little bit of honoring more often will help our world be more of that cared for, connected, unified self, right? That oneness that we are all part of. Many of us find that being a mom is lovely, and many people find that it's a huge struggle. I know that when Sky's emotions, because he's 5.5, and I'm sure girls are like this too, but his emotions are huge. His emotions are a roller coaster, and they are up and down and minute, like second to second. He can flip. And for me, as an emotional being and very sensitive, it's been a huge journey, and I'm still working on it, to be the mom that I know he needs me to be, like be that sort of level person in the situation. When he's escalating, I can't escalate too, otherwise he goes even more, and it's just, he and I can clash a lot. And being able to know that I'm the mom and I'm the bigger person, to calm myself as soon as I have the awareness that I'm escalating with him, has really, really made my life easier, let alone his life easier and my husband's life easier. Because not all of us are going up into the volcano at the same time. We're not erupting. I'm trying to stay and be that level self, so that whoever else is escalating, it's usually Sky, can have his emotions because he's still learning. I'm the one that has the awareness of what's happening. He's still figuring it out. And if I can let him figure that out through my guidance, through my role modeling, and being that role of mom, then he can have a better chance, I'm hoping, later, and with future situations where he does escalate or something escalates him, then he can, use the memory of me to be himself in any given situation. And as moms, we have that. It's a heavy responsibility because our kids are always watching us. And what we do, they might take on and do as well. So being able to help yourself thrive through any of that type of situation, and the situations that, NICU moms especially come up against, where, we're always told, why aren't you breastfeeding? Or why are you bottling? Is that your milk in the bottle? Or why are you wrapping your baby like that? They should be like cuddled or whatever. Or what's another thing? Oh, the charts, right? Being able to see those growth charts and the shoulds, like where our babies should be at, did not help me at all. It was something that actually re-triggered everything from the NICU. And I learned how to, going back to that self-care piece, I learned how to connect with why it was being shared with me and take what I needed from the situation and then put the rest somewhere else, like not in my zone. I didn't have to think about it because, yes, okay, this guy's 2 years behind with this. He's 2 years behind with that. Oh, well, he's 18 months behind with that. You know what? I'm just glad we're here together. I'm glad that we both survived. Putting it into perspective, and creating awareness for the self is something moms, I don't think, get time to practice, and it needs to be practiced, in my mind, in my experience. Giving myself those moments of connecting with the self and working through some of my stuff. Like, some of my emotions are definitely mine, and they are heavy and it's traumatic, and no one else needs to see me going through that. And yet, when I do have a counselor that can help me go through that, it makes me better. And then I can be the mom that I know I want to be, right? And sometimes our kids don't give us the option. And when they grow up, they can go and do their own things. And sometimes we get further and further apart when they grow up. And moms have to be okay with that, because those kids are on their own journey. They're people, they're adults, right? And just like how earlier I spoke to just briefly about growing with your child at any age, I think this applies. Honoring that journey, and like, what does honoring look like? What does that mean? It's just practicing acceptance for who you are and where you're at, and also bringing in the teachings and the learning that you can have in any given moment from the situation. Because maybe our mom wasn't what we wanted her to be, and she's still not. And there's a teaching there. There's something that we can utilize to grow and be different, right? Or change something within us so that we're not recreating or passing down those practices and those traits. It's that personal journey, and self-care has a lot to do with it. I'm gonna take a drink of water. So, what does it look like to be a thriving mom? It's an individual vision. If that means doing crafts every day with your kids, awesome. If it means being able to have a bath 5 times a week, fabulous. Like on your own, no kids, not the kids' bath, your bath. You have to build it and create that space for yourself to be thriving with how you need it to be. And maybe you absolutely, like, your best job has been being a mom. That is fabulous. I'm so happy that that is your journey. And maybe you don't need the self-care, but you'd still like it, right? So practicing and being aware, having these things for yourself, are going to really amplify the best mom in you. Adapting to the situation. So when Sky was first at home, I was really struggling because of my post-traumatic stress. And as a counselor, you can only counsel yourself so far, and then you need extra help from outside of yourself. And that's where I was at. I probably was there like as soon as Sky was being taken out of my stomach. But when, not stomach, womb. That's biologically okay, I get it. If any doctors watch this, they'll be like, "They're not coming out of your stomach." Anyway, sorry. When I was first home with Sky, I had a very dear friend come over, Janie, and she knew, she could see the struggle within me. She could see how much I was still fighting. And her words have stayed with me today, until today, because I'm obviously talking about it right now. She told me, let Sky be your healer. Look at him. You know, he's there, he's here, he's doing what he needs to do in any given moment. Just like those charts, forget about them. Like, not forget about them, but put them to the side, because as NICU parents or parents who are going through any sort of journey with their child, adapting in every single moment is a lifesaver. And Janie's words of let Sky be your healer, I was able to flip a switch and say, yeah, like, he he's okay and he's here, and I was able to focus more on the now than worrying and having all of my flashbacks take me over. So understanding that self, or that part for yourself, and letting your kids teach you, even if it's from afar. Um, it's a practice that takes time, and it evolves, and it constantly changes, and it can be hard, it can suck, and a lot of the time we don't have control over that. Being able to absorb what is good for you in the moment, and knowing that you're still mom, can bring some light to the situation. And this guy's emotional roller coaster, I've felt like not being mom a lot of the time. Sorry, itchy foot. And at the same time, I love being his mom. That's obviously something I didn't know that I'd be saying 5.5, 6 years after I got pregnant. But man, these guys teach us. And moms are, or people who are acting as mom, are a beautiful part of these people's futures. So give yourself a hug. Give yourself a hug. Some of us who are on our own, or with kiddos who are autistic and don't like that physical touch, we have to hug ourselves more often. If anyone has any questions or comments, I'm sort of at the end of my notes, but I could talk about stuff forever. I just don't want to talk forever. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being the mom that you've had to be in your life, and growing with each situation. NICU parents know how precious each moment is. All mothers, I think, know that on any given level. And working from your heart is where our world needs us to be. Feel that oneness with other moms who get you. Find that sense of belonging, and know that you are loved. Even when you feel like you're not being a good mom, you're still mom. Thank you. I love you. And if you celebrate Mother's Day on May 10th, happy Mother's Day. Talk to you later. Bye. Aw. Thank you, Lay, coming into the world for you. Thank you, beautiful friend. Talk to you soon. Bye.